everybody. On today's episode of Madge Unmuted, it's the season 5 premiere, and we're going to talk about me, apparently. We're going to answer all your questions.
I mean, it is your show. Why shouldn't we talk about you?
Yeah, you'll get to hear all the dirt, or some dirt, on me today. Come on in.
Come on in. The water's fine. We have tea and strumpets.
Dip your toe.
Ah!
The water's fine.
You did that, and I felt my spine crack into a million pieces.
Welcome to another episode of Madge Unmuted. This isn't just any episode. This is the premiere of season 5. Welcome. I am your hostess, Madge Madigan, and with me, as always, is my talented, trusty assistant, my producer, Fitz.
Ooh, that's an upgrade from lovely.
You're still lovely, though.
Dingy, dingy, dingy. How you doing, Madge?
I'm doing great. How are you?
I'm doing good. You look fantastic, by the way.
Oh,
the
you.
red
So
with
do
the blue. You know, I mean, you're very vibrant. And that could be your camera, too. You got a really good camera now, but.
No, it's me. It's all me.
Yes, it is. You're right.
And I upgraded my equipment. Here I am, broadcasting to you live from Dunkirk, New York. My new home.
Yeah,
I'm so excited.
I'm excited about the fact that I haven't come to visit you yet. So there's like a whole adventure ahead of me. That
You're excited at the fact that you haven't come to visit?
Yeah, because there's a whole adventure ahead of me that we can document.
You're excited
had I already
at the
come,
prospect.
Yeah, had I already come there, we're not doing the podcast yet.
Right. Yay. We have to do that. Yes, I get it. You're excited at the prospect of an adventure.
Yes.
Of visiting Madge, because it's a wild time here.
It is crazy. The whole neighborhood is aglow.
It is. And that's not just from the power plant. So, hey, I'll let you know what the hell's happening here. I am in my home studio here now. This is what Fitz and I are doing. Fitz is still there at Rock Fox Studios in Rochester, New York, and I am here remotely in my children's bedroom. All 3 of my kids are grown, and they live all in the New York City area, and I have taken over what would be my girls' bedroom and made it my own.
So tell me about this house that you're in now. This isn't your childhood home, is it?
No, it is not. So what happened was I grew up in this town, and I had to move away when I was 16. I was the youngest of 6 kids, and my dad was like born and raised here and everything. So were my grandparents, and then the great ones came over from Ireland. So anyway, I've been in this town for a while, and then I had to leave, and then there was kind of something missing my whole life. I felt like out of place, and anyway, a few years ago, I decided to buy an investment house here to use as an Airbnb, because there ain't squat in this town to stay at. I mean, there's one hotel that's usually always booked, and it's
trying
not
to be
great.
Nice.
So, yes, I am. It's just they haven't been. The upkeep has been. Anyway, so. Last year I was getting tired of Rochester just because it's a lovely place. No offense. I had nothing left there. And the housing market was amazing. So I'm like, look, I can make a bundle if I sell this house and just go live in the one in Dunkirk, because I'm not doing anything. I wasn't doing anything up there. I work remote and whatnot. So anyway, I bought this house. The funny thing is, this house was not mine, but I bought it from some childhood friends.
Oh, so when you were a kid, you used to go there and like hang out with them and stuff.
Not necessarily.
You just knew.
They bought, because they bought this house like right after I graduated from high school and moved away. But I grew up with the family since like I was born.
Wow.
They had like 5 or 6 kids, and the parents were my parents' friends, and I think my mother played bridge club, and we all went to the same Catholic grade school together. We were all, there was like 5 or 6 of them, 6 of us. We all knew each other. So anyway, it was like they were, getting older and moved into a smaller, kind of home, and I was like, whoa, this is just kind of full circle shit, you know what I mean? Yeah. Well, but it felt good.
What's in Dunkirk? Like, you had it as an Airbnb. What's around there that people are going to come to visit, to stay at an Airbnb? Just out of curiosity. I mean, is it close enough to Buffalo?
State.
Or okay, Fredonia.
It's 30 minutes from the Orchard Park Stadium where the Buffalo Bills play.
That's not a bad. That's not far.
Yeah, but there's a lot of things. Excuse me. There's a lot of things in the area that are really great. We're on Lake Erie, so there's a lot of, I don't know if we call it tourism, but there's a lot of vineyards, wineries. There's Lilydale, which is a spiritualist community.
Oh, that's the psychic place.
Yeah. Not to be confused with Psychic Friends, but that's really old. So anyway, so in the summer, this place is hopping because everybody who was ever born here and moved away comes back to visit. So that's how I was so busy this summer. My house was nonstop full of people visiting through July and August. So... Well, it's great.
It must be nice to have all those people who want to come visit you.
Yeah, no, they didn't want to come visit me. They just wanted to stay at my house and go do their own shit. No, I'm kidding. They okay. We had a family reunion. Me and my 5 siblings. So that was really, really nice and long overdue. And we're all over the country. So that's what I did on my summer vacation. So I have some fun things. So that's what's in Dunkirk, and that's why I moved back here. And I picked up my whole life. I had been in Rochester for about off and on 30 years. So that was a bit. I'm in the new Madge era thing.
What?
Figuring out my next chapter.
Madge 2.0.
Madge,
V2?
Next chapter. Yeah, pretty much. But like, so I wanted to tell you how this is just a quick recap. And then we got some really fun stuff today. I asked people for questions on Facebook and they came through. So hold on, let's get to that. But I wanted to tell you, so like my life, I told you about, like, I went to college in Maine. I moved away, and then I got married and was married for 10 years and 3 kids. And that was kind of volatile. We'll just put it at that. Yeah. And then we had to move to Denver for his job, and then we got divorced out there, and then he moved back a few years later. Then a few years later, I'm like, fuck this place, I'm going back to New York. So I did that, and then shortly after, my ex-husband kind of moved out of state. We had kind of lost contact for several years, and like there went all my child support and everything, and I had been like a stay-at-home mom, and so that was a struggle. There was a lot of turmoil in those. Did a lot of turmoil in those years. But the point of me saying that is that, I had to like go on food stamps and assistance and got evicted a couple times, and it was a struggle for a few years. But I told the kids, this is not going to define us. And I got all 3 of them through college graduates, and I made a go of it, and bought a house and sold a house and got jobs, and now it's
now it's your turn.
Age of Madge.
Now it's your turn.
Exactly. Yeah. So everybody better fucking watch this so I can make a lot of money off of it. Subscribe at Madge Unmuted.
So what's on the Magenda?
Okay, so let me
Magenda. What's on the Magenda?
Oh, you know what? You know why else you have to watch this so I can monetize and get lots of money so that hang on, hold please. So that I can buy more of these because that's really important.
More vintage tchotchkes.
More vintage purses. These are purses, by the way, and she's in like everything I buy is like deep discount or like I've earned it through rewards and free. I am so frugal, but anyway, I gotta buy more things like this. Are they not the coolest?
That's a hell of a boot,
isn't it? Though
that's not also a purse, is it?
No, it's a boot. Betsy Johnson. So but people have to invite me to more things so I can get dressed up. Like that, because I'm not just gonna wear those to Wegmans.
Why not?
I don't know. Could be. All right.
Who's the chick in the bread aisle with those fucking boots?
Really?
Oh my god.
And how much?
Yeah, right.
Yeah, my hooker boots on. No. Okay. So I asked my friends on Facebook to ask me some questions, and I said, "Keep it clean, please." And my friends here are so funny, and some are not.
So these are questions that these are questions that they want you to answer that they're asking you.
Yes,
like personal questions.
Say what do you want to know about me, and keep it clean. Those are my two things. So I don't know if I should say people's names. I guess I should. I guess nobody really cares.
You just give them the first name, right?
Okay. Joanne B., who was somebody I went to high school with, and I ran into her this summer. She was here for her high school reunion. It was the first time I'd seen her in 40 years.
Oh my gosh.
So that was kind of funny. And she still remembers this. The shit that people remember can be good and bad. So when I was in junior high, we used to have a variety show every year, and you had to try out for it. Now, I don't know if there was anyone that ever did not make it. So somebody let me know if you never made the Dunkirk Middle School variety show. So she said, this isn't a question, but I don't know if maybe it's a topic she wanted me to talk about, and it says middle school variety show. And then she sent me a YouTube link to a song that, my God, I'm so embarrassed. My 8th grade. But this shows you what a ham I've always been. And how my whole life, people were always trying to get me to not be creative and weird and stuff.
Tone it down, Madge. Tone it down. Tone it down.
Yeah.
Madge. That's what people are
saying. They're trying
to
dim my light.
Fuck
yeah,
them.
always. Yeah. I mean, even I wanted to go to college for drama. My dad was like, "Nope, not paying for you to become a waitress." His exact words. But I get it. They wanted me to make money, but I've had a struggle my whole life. So now I'm just going to go back to being obnoxious like I did in this thing. I used to be a huge ELO fan, and there was a song called Jungle. Mm-hmm. You look it up, and for some asinine reason, I roped 2 of my friends in. I wore this costume. Okay, it was 1978, mind you. I wore a gymnastics leotard and then a sheet that I tied into a sarong, and bare feet, and just did these stupid simple moves. It was I was walking through the jungle, and I don't know. And then I had 2 of my friends standing next to me, 2 girlfriends doing some basic moves. And then at one point, somebody came and swung in on a rope behind me. Anyway,
were you lip syncing or?
Fucking embarrassing. Yeah. I was lip syncing.
Okay.
I don't. So that's that.
So that's that's what she brought up.
That's what she brought up. She wanted me to share that with the world, apparently. So, Okay, next, Rebecca, what are you looking forward to most during the fall season in Dunkirk/Fredonia? That's the general area. What am I looking forward?
I mean, that's what everybody wants to do. Raking leaves.
Oh yeah. No, I'm looking forward to having my first holiday season here. You know, like
Halloween,
decorating this house. Yeah, decorating for Halloween.
So,
and
here's a question for
general fall. Yes.
How early is too early to decorate for Halloween?
Now. No, I feel at the autumn. Was that the equinox?
Equinox.
Yeah, like September 22nd. Like, I think that. However, you know, I saw people here who had their blow up shit, Halloween shit, long before that. So I don't know.
I kind of feel like it should be October, but I guess a couple of days before October, that's not a big deal, you know. I mean, there's nothing else. There's nothing else happening.
See, that's my thing. I've always thought October 1st is when the Halloween stuff goes out. But like yesterday, I finally bought mums. So, but I haven't put my Halloween stuff out. Not that I have a lot. So yeah,
flowers, mums the word, flowers.
Mum's the word.
What does that signify? As me being clueless, you just bought your mums. Is that like a summer thing?
Mums are a fall
or a fall thing. Okay, so you just bought your mums.
Plant.
So you're moving into the fall season with your decor. Gotcha.
With my foliage. So yeah, So I'm slowly putting those things out now. So that's what Rebecca wanted to know. Like, yeah, just of course, duh, the Buffalo Bills. That's what I'm looking forward to
Foosball.
in the
That's right.
Fall season.
Sports ball.
I already started that. If you look at my social media, you'll see all my lovely outfits and my Bills hyping shit. So yeah, it'll get old. Okay, next. Tim G is another one of my classmates from growing up. He said, "I'd like to know what your ideas are for improving the Dunkirk area." Ooh.
Are you running for office?
No, I am not.
Is this the platform for that, Madge?
But I keep talking about how I would like to contribute something here and build it up and
sure.
Get because. Yeah, my relatives didn't come here and work their fingers to the bone to build this city up in the mid 1800s, early 1800s to let it go to the last person that leaves turns the light off. You know what I mean? It's a great place. We have a great waterfront. There has to be more businesses, and. I'm gonna make a kind of controversial thing. I'll just say it. Okay, for one, the city made a big mistake a long time ago, taking up all the waterfront stuff and using it for municipal shit. Like water treatment. I understand some of it you had to, but they took the prime waterfront
they put water treatment plants where they should have had condos and beach resorts and stuff. Yes,
a giant energy plant, that's blocking the whole view. It's just so you can't do anything about that other than knock the energy plant down, but that's a whole big expense. But the other thing is John and I have been looking into buying some businesses, and there are some people in town that seem to have a stranglehold on all of the real estate. And they buy it and it sits there vacant, or they lease it to some thing that adds nothing. Sorry, like vape shops or, cornhole supply shop. I don't know, whatever. And the person just does nothing. They buy up all the stuff and they do nothing. It sits vacant. And we want to buy some stuff and they ask for ridiculous prices because they want to They can, and like they kind of want to be the bank on it and charge exorbitant prices. And it's like, no, we just want to pay you cash, not actually cash, but we just want to pay you. We'll use our own bank and our own cash, and you get out of it, and we do our own thing, because we already have a successful bar up in Fairhaven, Stick and Rudder, which is phenomenal. So that's one of my things. I want to get this. We got to bring in more business. We can't keep catering to the lowest common denominator. Do you know what I mean?
What kind of businesses would be the kind that you would put there, like restaurant bar type businesses, or what else can there be?
Unfortunately, those not unfortunately. I mean, those are the biggest, quickest money makers.
Sure.
And you can't have anything else there if those things aren't there. Like, you can't have a souvenir shop if there's nothing else around there. You know what I mean? Like, nobody wants to buy souvenirs of the power plant.
Right.
And, I would love another, we wanted to build like a mini boardwalk, and we were looking at buying a thing, and like the city was so uncooperative. That's the other thing. The city does not make it easy for people to come in to spend money. City.
Are they curmudgeons? Are they kind of like they don't want to change anything because it's been that way for so long? We don't want to change
all of
it.
The
they
above.
Don't sound like that either.
All of the above, and sometimes I don't think they know how. I don't think they, no offense to anybody, but like, if you've been if you've been here your whole life and you've never seen anything else, you don't know how anything else works. So, like, let somebody who's been a successful business person from somewhere else, who doesn't want to just throw money at something and let it sit there because I needed to, like, do a 1031 exchange or get my capital gains or just launder money or whatever the fuck's going on. Not that anyone is here. I'm just saying. No. So anyway,
that's the thing.
Those are my plans too.
You need boatloads of cash so you can go in there and like buy all these jerkwads out.
Exactly.
So to get them out of there, and then you could do what you want. But I see what you mean with the stranglehold, though, because they're not going to do that. Nobody has that kind of money except for huge companies like Starbucks or something, and you don't want them. You don't want big chains to do it.
Not really, because I've known there's been several other people in town that have wanted to buy things, and this person was just like, nope, I want this or nothing. And you're getting nothing. And it's been there for 10 years, and you're still getting nothing. I mean... Yeah. Anyway, God, people, let me help you, for God's sake. Okay, then Mary says, this kind of goes along with this. She says, well, I had never had any beginning thoughts, Mary. So yes, if you have any more thoughts on the fireside takeover with me as interior designer and queen hostess, well, no, Mary, that's another, it's a restaurant out by Van Buren Point. It's a whole area where all the old money Pittsburgh people come, and there's cottages, and it was a great place, but we don't want to do a restaurant. It's a full-on big ass restaurant. We don't want to do a restaurant. Sorry. I mean, a bar with some like light tapas, that's
tapas.
about it.
Tapas.
Tapas, like small plate sharing, or even just like fucking we don't need another like burger and pizza pub food place.
Right.
There needs to be something
interesting that's going to draw people there.
Like charcuterie boards, mushroom caps, I don't know, non-pizza brick oven. There's not one single brick oven pizza place here. Can you believe that?
Wow.
Crazy.
There's like 100 here.
I know. Yeah. Okay, my friend Daryl says, I understand you have some really great friends. Is that true? Yes, it is, Daryl. Love you. And all my other gal pals in town. I do. I have some really great friends here in Dunkirk. I do. Great people, great friends, a lot of fun. I'm really enjoying it. And some people that really care. some people that don't give a shit, but there's some people that care. No, generally here, everybody's really good, like, and they're willing to help their fellow man. Except sometimes the business sense, I don't know. Okay.
Is the college the biggest employer there? Is Fredonia the biggest employer, or who's the biggest employer?
It used to be.
Or is it
or maybe there's a
health company.
No, there's a Purina plant. No, there's no big health companies. That's the thing that sucks. And so much of this community is aging too. There's a Purina plant. There's a couple other. There used to be. I mean, steel used to be the thing. There used to be 4, 5, 6 steel plants in town, and then the 20s. The 1970s hit, and everything went away. So Fredonia, but Fredonia is having trouble, and that I don't understand. Other than maybe college in general has just become so unattainable. I mean, the cost is just astronomical. So I don't know. Anyway, but there's a lot of that. Okay, Brian, my friend up in Rochester, says, if you could do a Bills locker room interview this week, who would you choose and what would you ask? There's so many guys that I think, knowing me, I probably wouldn't ask strict football questions. I'd ask Mac Hollins, what conditioner he uses on his hair, because he has a lot of big hair and long hair, and he also goes everywhere barefoot. So I would ask him, do your feet ever hurt? Have you ever stepped on anything?
Barefoot everywhere?
Yeah, and I want to ask him, do you plan on wearing shoes in Buffalo this winter?
In the wintertime? What does he play?
Because I think...
What positions do you play? Oh, no.
I'm the worst. I'm the
worse
worst
than you.
with positions. I can, for the most, I know Josh Allen is quarterback. Most people I can tell you if they're offense, defense, receiver, whatever. I think he's a receiver. I know someone will blast me. Tell me in the comments. But he's cool. I love Schno, Deonta Hawkins. He is hilarious, and he's also such a nerd. He's just he looks like a big bad football player, but he is just has the nerdy, dorkiest sense of humor that I love. I mean, the guy loves Harry Potter. He's hilarious. So you already know. That's who I would of course, Josh, I would probably freeze because I would be starstruck. But yeah, sorry, that's not anything,
Did you hear about Brett
groundbreaking.
Favre?
I did.
Isn't that sad?
It is sad. My friend Ivan wants to know, Mary Tyler Moore or Sally Field? I gotta go with Mary Tyler Moore. MTM was my girl. Mary Tyler Moore show, when she worked at the TV station, that was one of my...
She was your idol.
Reasons. Yeah, that was that and WKRP in Cincinnati were how I started my interest in going into radio and TV. I know.
I had a crush on Sally Field when I was younger. She was such a cutie.
A Gidget.
Oh.
Just Mary Tyler Moore. And the Dick Van Dyke Show. And then she was the queen of neuroses. Oh, Rob. Whatever. So, yeah, that's all.
That was all just a little bit ahead of my generation.
Yeah, you're just a couple years younger than me.
A little bit.
And then I have one last question from this guy named John. I think he has an ulterior motive with this question. I don't know. He says, where do you want to go on vacation?
In general or specifically now?
I think he's trying to light a fire under my ass because we've been planning. We go on a vacation every year, and but we didn't at all last year because my house went for sale in January. closed in March. Then I moved, and then the whole summer, it was just everything all the time. So we didn't go anywhere. So I think he's trying to pin me down where he should. So normally what we do is take a vacation in like February, something like that. And that's got to be a warm thing. That's got to be a warm thing. Because this motherfucker took me to Lake Tahoe one February to go skiing at Heavenly.
I don't know.
Yeah.
Man.
And I'm like, I can't ski that well anymore. I have it since my shoulder and my foot and and plus I can do like the Bunny Hill at Brantling in Rochester or, I could do some beginner places back here. So no, we go to Tahoe and he's like Mr. Expert Skier whoosh, 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 and takes me to the top and I'm like, yeah, I can do it. And I get like a quarter of a way down the first run and I'm like in tears. And we had to call the ski patrol.
All right, guys, get her off the mountain.
So then he puts me on one of those sleds and skis. I think did he ski? It wasn't a snowmobile. He skied down with me on like a toboggan. Yeah. And the whole time I'm laying there, I got the helmet on, but the whole time it's like ding, 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 ding. And I'm like, my foot was okay, but now I have a concussion by the time I got down here. So, but also it was cold and like you're up in Lake Tahoe and they carve out the road and the snow on the side of the road goes way above the cars. Yeah. And if I felt claustrophobic and I'm like, no, thank you. So, no more. I would like to go. I have never been to any island, raising 3 kids by myself. I hadn't been anywhere really. So, I want to go
to Long Island.
I have. And, excuse me, I've been to Grand Island, which is near Buffalo. But I want to go. Yeah, I want to go somewhere warm. I want to go into like the Caribbean. I'd also like to go somewhere where I can use my passport for once.
Yeah, I still got to get mine.
But anyway,
my passport expired in 2007.
Oh, mine's still active. I used it once to go to Mexico. To go to what's this place? Cabo San Lucas. It's on the purse behind me. You want a hoe? What?
No.
Is that what you said? I don't know what that is.
Oh my God.
Sorry.
Shawshank Redemption.
You wanted a hoe.
That's where Andy goes and Red comes to find him.
I just read an article about that the other day. How odd that you mentioned it. But yeah, so those are all my questions.
All right. Well done.
So that does it for questions for Madge. Shall we make this like a weekly? Did you hurt yourself?
I've been sitting here with my hand resting, and it just totally fell asleep, and it was like all tingly and stuff. And I was like,
God, all of a sudden it looked like you'd been shot in the hand. I was like,
this getting old sucks. I'm like, I can't stand for too long. It's got to sit down, and then I got to stand up because my hip starts to hurt, and then now my hand's falling asleep, and oh my God, I got the runs.
Oh, I'm sorry. Are you speaking? Are you done now? Did I tell you? Did I make this joke before? I read a meme that somebody said, my mother has a podcast every day at 9 a.m. where she self-diagnoses. She lists all her ailments and self-diagnoses what's going on with her. It's called My Voicemail. It's like, yeah,
true story.
Miss my
true
mother.
Story.
I didn't really. I mean, my parents died 12 and 13 years ago. Jesus, 11 years ago. No, 12 and 11 years ago. And I didn't quite get to that point. I mean, I guess I did, but my mother wasn't. She wasn't like that. Mm-hmm. She, the most she would do is, she'd start sniffling or something. She's like, oh my God, I'm sorry, I got the worst sinus infection right now. And like, that's about it.
Yeah, she's not a complainer.
Yeah. So I don't know where I got my complaining from.
What about your dad?
he was not a complainer either.
Yeah, and they come from the generation that kind of, it was either they were either a terrible complainer or they didn't say shit and didn't talk about their emotions at all. You know what I mean? It was one or the other.
My dad would be 101 if he were alive. He was in World War II. So it was like, you don't talk about shit. You don't, mention shit. He would never complain about stuff. He would only, he did have really bad arthritis. And I did get that from Dad. Thanks. And it would be like, he just couldn't do something. He's like, we're like, we go out to visit somebody and we're going to go on this hike, and he's like, I can't, and he would hate it as much as we did, so, but anyway, that's it. My mother my mother did complain about politics. My mother complained about politics.
I'd love to hear it.
Okay, I'll tell, because this is old, so I hate to bring up politics, but obviously my parents were, dyed-in-the-wool Kennedy Democrats, okay? Irish Catholic, what are you gonna do?
Sure.
But they were very much about loving your neighbor and helping people out, and everybody's equal, and they were just really wonderful people. And but my mother did hate one group of people.
Uh-oh.
And so at the end, she'd be watching, I don't know if it was like CNN or something. Fox didn't exist yet, I don't think. She'd be watching it. And I remember I'd be on the phone. She's like, talking to me. And she walked by the living room where my dad's sitting in his lounger talking, and or watching TV. And she like, oh my God. I'm like, what's wrong? She's like, I just look over at TV and there's that asshole Newt Gingrich. Oh God, oh my God, I just hate that guy. Strom Thurmond. Jesus, what a fucking racist piece of shit. Well, she didn't say fuck. She never said that. She was like, son of a bitch and piece of shit. That was about her.
She's kind of right. I mean,
Strom Thurmond, yeah, dude was a card-carrying KKK member. Anybody who can, and he was a horrible person. Anyone who can back that guy up, and they voted for him for how many decades?
Oh yeah.
But anyway, that's what my mother would, and I would kind of call her out. I'm like, Mom, now you taught us not to hate anyone.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, he's an asshole.
What did your dad do in World War II? What branch of the service was he in?
He was an Army, and he had left college to join, so he was, kind of put him in charge of some shit. Cause
did he go to OCS? Was he an officer?
No, he did not do that, but they made him in charge of the supply trucks. Like he was not right in combat, but he was like right back where
NCO?
I get, yeah. So he had like, the chemical weapons truck. He had all the weapons in his truck, and he's in charge of getting things, moving things to other people, and he was just there where he's watching bombs go over. Yeah.
Where did he serve?
He served in the Atlantic and the Pacific.
Ooh.
He was in France most of the time in the beginning, and then what was it? Hitler surrendered and all that, and that was ending. And so then they're like, okay, we're going to focus on the Pacific now. We're going to ship you over there. So they took all these guys and they put them on a ship, and then like they're halfway there and the war ended.
Yeah.
But it wasn't like they could just turn around and come back, or even more than halfway. So they got to the Philippines, and the war was over. Like, it was just ending. It just ended, and like within a month or something. And so then he had to like sit there for 6 months.
Yeah.
Until he was in line to be shipped back. They were, all the other guys that have been there forever, they're taking them home first, and then you're just waiting on a ship. So anyway, that's what my dad did. So okay, we're gonna wrap this. Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
I was just saying, I'm always fascinated by any kind of World War II history. That's just kind of my thing. So whenever people tell me that someone in their family was in the war and they were in the service, I want to know everything there is about it, because I'm a big fan of that generation and what they had to do.
Yeah. I mean, I'm sad that my parents aren't alive now, because now is the time of life. Like when you hit 50, then your kids are getting older and whatever, you can start focusing on other things than yourself and your own immediate problems. And also as you get older, you start to go through stuff and you're like, where you want to say, hey, Mom, how did you do that? Or what was it like when you were, right. And then now, especially that I'm here where my dad grew up, every day I'm like, oh, I want to ask my dad. I wish what was it like when he was growing up? Oh, were there a lot of guys from World War II? Did you lose just a myriad of things. Yeah. And I can't.
I know. That's tough.
So I asked my oldest siblings if they ever found that stuff out from him, and sometimes they had. And
it's difficult because that generation didn't like to talk that much about it either. So you really had to draw it out of them.
Exactly. My dad, though, was obsessed with World War II history. We used to, back in the day of 3 channels being on TV, and if there was, Tora on one of them, forget it. You lost the TV for the night. Dad had it. And both my parents were voracious readers. Is that how you say that? Yeah. And we had bookshelves filled with books and books and books. And like all my dads were all, World War II. Yeah. And my mother's were, she loved fiction, mysteries. Like I can't remember who some of them were. Anyway, I'll remember them later. And then the history of Ireland. Yeah, history of Ireland shit. That was my mother. I got 8 million books downstairs. So, yeah. So we could talk more about that another time. Did you have something to close us out with?
Don't piss on yourself? I don't know. Bad choice of words. All right, so I found this thing.
Who does want to do that? Wait, don't answer that.
Yeah, they're out there.
People in the news.
I found this list, which it's kind of one of those things where it's sort of moderately funny, but I thought it was okay. And I lost it.
Okay,
God
sounds like.
Okay. It's a hell of a sell, wasn't it? It's a hell of a sell.
Yeah, I was just going to say, I couldn't think of the words.
Top 5 phrases that will ruin the day of even the most optimistic people in the world. I'm going to save the best for last, as one wants to do. Here's one. Since this is going to be a long Uber ride, you want to hear my band. Everyone, let's gather in the conference room. It's time for our sexual harassment seminar.
Oh, God.
If you have nothing to hide, let me see your texts.
Yeah, been there.
No,
not on my end.
Yeah.
What was the last one you said? Oh, sexual harassment. That's one of John and I's running jokes that, we'll have a guy we know just say some wholly inappropriate things. We're out in the bar, just like, oh, nice, whatever on her, really inappropriate.
On that hose hound. Yeah.
Something like that. And then John and I'll turn to each other and say, and that's why we all have sexual harassment. Right. We all have to have sexual harassment training because of Bob or whatever. So, all right, go ahead.
Here's another one that would ruin your day. Do you know why I pulled you over? Let's see. I don't understand that one. Oh, here's one. I'm pregnant. And my favorite one, Mom, Dad, I want to work in radio.
That must have come from a radio haha service.
You think?
Yeah. That's the funniest thing. I wanted to go into theater, and my dad was like, why don't you try radio and TV? Because my uncle, so that was in the early 80s, late 70s, and my uncle had just died in 74, 75, who his whole career was radio and TV. He had been the president of ABC News. And so
oh my God.
Yeah, so I mean, he started in radio in like
before
1936. Yes, in like 1936, and he worked his way up over the years. And I was like, okay, that sounds really cool. Yeah, because I always wanted to be a DJ. Oh, and I'll keep you updated on this. I'm trying to go back to being a DJ. Yeah, so I'll keep it tuned on that because there's like one DJ in town, and people need. Plus, I want to do it up and not like crazy, just keep playing songs, and I want to do it up in our bar. But anyway, so I went through that, and I'm like, wow, I really wish Uncle John was alive because that would have been helpful. But he wasn't, and he's guiding me. So.
Anyway, at some point in a future episode, I'd really love to talk about that sort of concept that you brought up with what your dad said. Like, I'm not putting you through college to be a waitress, implying that if you go for such a type of job, for a type, God damn it, what's the word I'm looking for?
Occupation?
Yeah, not occupation. Vocation. If you go after that vocation, you will end up as a waitress. If you'd gone to
BOCES, you'd know that word. Vocational training. Yeah. Well, yeah.
But that idea that don't go after what your passion is because there's no money in it. Go after what's going to make you money. And it's like that old school way of thinking.
That was my entire life. It did so much damage that I was told not to go after what I wanted to do and after what I am and be something else. But I get it now. They were just like trying to protect me.
Sure.
Now it's a different story. People will say, "Oh, go after your dreams." I was very careful to work with my kids to see what do you want to do, what you're passionate about. But let's see if you can make money. If you can't make money, well, then we'll do this. We'll have it. I gave them a workaround. But yeah, it was a lot of damage for many years because I was told, "Don't be who you are because it's stupid. It's impractical. Right. It's stupid. It's a waste." So here I am.
Yeah. So
making up for lost time.
Episode 3, the other ways I fucked up in my adult life.
Anyway, that's going to do it for us. Please subscribe to Madge Unmuted. While you're here, hit the subscribe button, whatever, bell, ding dong. And thank you for joining us on this this premiere episode of season 5 of Madge Unmuted.
Smash you with a bottle of champagne.
Yes, I christened thee the Madge. And so, yeah, thanks for joining us, and I hope that you join us, me and Fitz, from Rock Fox Studios. I hope you join us next 2 weeks from now for episode 2 of Madge Unmuted.
Bye, Dunkirk.
Bye.